Pleasant team meeting. It's pretty amazing when you look at, we have the opportunity to travel here and there through the region to KWRI. And when you look at the rooms, this vision comes to fruition, not just here, but through the company as a whole. And it's all because of the people. It's all because of the relationships that we create, the people that, and the relationships that continue to push us toward our goals. So it's really fun. Without further ado, we can't do great things like this and eat whatever that Moe's, I guess. Great food without awesome partners. So Sloan.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Absolutely.
Hi, guys. How are you? Good to be back. Good to see some familiar faces out there. Hope everything's going well in this crazy economy. But pretty cut and dry, guys. I am the owner operator of Anchor Storage Solutions. I handed out a couple of sheets and some cards. We are a portable storage company here in Charleston, similar to Pods or Eunice, if you're familiar with them. Just it's a lot better, but we're getting moving, and we offer a wide variety of options and services. No matter what your move is, we have 8x8, 8x12, 16, and 20-foot regular portables, all brand new, insulated, watertight, very durable. If you're looking for a climate controlled option, we have that in 16 and 20 foot. Also very popular, but our most is our portable storage, portable offices, which has your overhead lighting, your wall outlets, and 2 windows. So it doesn't feel like a total prison cell while you're in there. But those are very popular because, of course, they're mobile and set up shop wherever you go. We're just trying to get the word out. To work with you guys for a while, and it's storage. That's not crazy exciting. So it's hard to get the word out and and just be consistent. And whenever the time comes, for you that you actually need storage, to reach out to us. So we'd love to help you. We are mom and pop's place. So I'm owner operator, and I got you covered, guys. I know you have your clients, you have closing dates. I've dealt with tons of real estate transactions. I know how it goes. I know they can move around. I'll always work with you. And that's what kind of, the difference between us and the competition. You probably look at 2 weeks before you get something delivered from Pods or Eunice. They're doing amazing. They're doing a lot better than we are, so that kind of comes with it. But we can take care of you. I just want you to give me a shot to work with you and work some of your clients to offer some of our services. And I won't let them down. I'll do everything I can to deliver. Like I said, we are very professional in communication 24/7. Our pricing is the best in town. I do a price check every 1 to 2 months, basically, and roughly. And we're not, we've always got to be. And if I don't, you just got to call me and I'll beat it. As long as it's terrible to what it is. But that's really it. It's just, guys, we do have a location in Myrtle Beach. So we service pretty much 30 miles off the coast between Myrtle and Charleston. So anything between there and here, we've got you covered. Still growing. Hopefully that'll expand in time. Along with that, we're also going to move into boat and RV storage as well. So that's not so much for your clients, but if you guys will need something, that's in the works as well. So long story short, a lot of moving pieces, growing the business, very hungry. Would love to help you guys out. Quick question. I'm just curious, how often do your clients even ask you about, their move? You know what I mean? Like they ever even say, hey, a portable storage company? Do you guys use U-Haul? Is there, they ever even bring that up? Or I was just wondering, just because it's probably a sign of the time that some of the real estate transaction, rentals have gone down. I was just curious how much involvement you guys had with that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's really the gist of it. I would love to help you guys out. What you got?
2 questions. Where are you located and how does the mileage?
Yes. So we are located at 3120 Pacific Street, which is on Banco Road behind the Sphinx, right there down from Tanger Outlets, if you're familiar with it. So we're right there. And the mileage, so it's anything over 30 miles round trip is when we start to charge. So basically what I'll do is I'll calculate that when you call and you tell me, hey, here's address 1 and 2, and then I can give you the transfer cost. So that doesn't apply to everybody. So the delivery is $75 and pickup is $75. If you have to take a box or portable from one home or business to another, that's the transfer. Does that make sense? So it can be a little confusing at times. Maybe I'll reword that and make it nice and simple. But yeah, that's huge.
For the $75 covers up to beyond that.
So what I do is, so it's free for up 30 miles. And after that, I calculate it at a certain rate per mile. You're not really getting the $75 on that one. You're just paying mileage, you know? So,
There's an idea what 30 miles.
30 miles. So pretty much from here to Somerville, let's say if you're going downtown Somerville, it's about 30 miles roughly. It's 27, but close to it. And guys, we're hungry. I'll work with you. You know, if it's a certain customer that's unique, say the least, you know, or on a budget, I'll always work with you. We're new. The competition is pretty steady in Charleston, and so long, yeah, I got you covered. But I'm trying to think. You know, also one good thing we do as well, along with the the portable storage, is we also offer long-term exterior storage. So kind of more applies to the people who are using maybe outdoor furniture or things that you don't mind, getting room temperature, because I don't have the ability to climate control all of these pods yet. But if you did want to do that while you rearrange things, I can hold on to it for you. You can have access to it 24/7. So just another thing to think about when you're thinking about portable storage. Yes.
That was the office storage.
Mm-hmm.
So you can bring that onto some land and that's the office.
Yes. There.
Like what was that like?
So that right there is $279 a month, and then you have the delivery and pickup fee. Typically, the office doesn't get transferred, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's climate control, remote control, overhead lighting, wall outlets, and I said the 2 windows. They're premium portable. 8x20. So there, yeah, that's construction. General contractors and other folks working at home.
How many of us are thinking about our own yards right now?
It's a little getaway, Another thing we're looking at is portable getaways, like kid shacks and man caves. And that's down the line. I don't get into that yet, but I would love to do that. So, I mean, pretty good. It's inch and a quarter foam board. So as far as portable storage goes, that's actually good. Most of them don't have any. If it does, it's a 1/4 inch piece of foam board in there. So they do pretty good. I mean, they're definitely watertight. I've put them to test. I've water tested them because anything happens to it, that's not on me. So I have tested them up and down, and they are rock solid.
So say climate control, so like a thermostat or.
So you have a window unit in the end.
Okay.
And then it has a little remote control, but that's the thing. You have to run the power, which is regular 110 outlet like this, with a heavy duty extension cord though. That's a funny story I'll tell you one time. But yes, there's 2 GFCI outlets on the very end, and you just run your extension cord to the back of the pod, and that chooses it right up. The top one is for the AC, and the bottom one is for the electrical outlets to the side and the overhead lights. As far as that goes, only thing I've ever seen is it's only happened once, but if you do, let's say you have your printer and your computer and you're running a few other chargers and things, you might have to take that extension cord and put it on a different leg on your house, different breaker. That way it doesn't trip the breaker. I'm just covering all my bases. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes people will plug in power tools, bring somebody random things, I'm like, yeah, you're pulling a lot of power with that thing in there. But they're great guys, and we're just getting started. We got a lot of cool things coming out. We also took all of our 8x8s, not all of them, but a half of them, and converted them into food donation bins. So we cut holes in the side. I placed them in 23 businesses throughout Charleston, and we flow all those food donations. Low Country Food Bank, Echo, if you're familiar with them, Salvation Army. So we're doing a lot of cool things. I would love to help you guys out. Anything else?
Thanks so much, Lon.
Yeah, you do. Thanks, guys. Last but not least, if you give me your card, I will let you make one out. Give you a
Something to think about. Yeah, go get your business card. Something to think about. I've heard this a bunch, but consumer experience is massively important in real estate or any business, right? We would agree with that. What is consumer experience? What is it?
How they feel about what you've done.
how they feel, right? And an easy way that I've heard it defined is unique access, unique insight, unique service. There are, how many real estate agents are there now? 7,500, I think almost 8,000, right? Relatively diluted. You know what percentage of them sell less than 5 homes a year? 20, 80, 70%. 70% sell less than 5 homes a year, right? Which is crazy. And I read this book recently called Blue Ocean Strategy, and you should read that. And it's really interesting. There's blue oceans, right? Blue oceans, there's nobody out there, right? Red oceans are what we're all playing in. They're bloody, they're competitive, right? And there's 8,000 real estate agents. We're playing in a red ocean. What can we do to get out into the blue ocean without just decreasing our costs, right? And an easy way to do that is think in the way of consumer experience, being unique access, unique insight, and unique service. Unique service, when we listen to these partners every month or in any of these trainings, we should be thinking about how they fit with our business. Because even if I'm an individual agent, I'm not actually an individual agent. I have partners that are doing additional things within my business. So how do I take a guy like Sloan, add him into my business as a unique service to my consumers and to my clients? And how does that take me into a blue ocean from a red ocean? Does that make sense? It's a way we should all be thinking. So let's move on. Kelly Collins. Hello. She's in the Zoom world, right? She's up in Somerville. If you're ever up in the Somerville area, make sure to stop by, say hello. She's a rock star, and we can't do a lot of things that we do up in Somerville without her. So definitely reach out. So what else we got? All right. Who wants to fill somebody's bucket? Gratitude. Very important piece to the puzzle. Who's had something good happen in their life and wants to fill a bucket? You had something good. Congratulations. You both did. Look at you two. Let's give them both a round of applause. Congratulations. Oh, yeah. Kelly got engaged. Hannah got married. This is exciting. Way to go. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. One way to look at it. Who else has something that they're grateful for they want to share? Oh, man. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Talk about culture. Golly, who wants to go next?
Maybe. I don't know if I want to go after. I would like to thank those that are teaching Ignite, especially Sarah, Patty, Winnie, not here, Lynn. Y'all have taken double sessions and I just appreciate it. We really couldn't put this on. Bill, thank you for signing up. Jay, I know you're signed up as well, but we really couldn't put on Ignite without you all. And it means the world that y'all pick up second sessions even just to make it happen. So I appreciate it.
Give me one more. Oh, let's hear them.
Wendy shouted out her, Winnie, Ridge, Laura Fox, Tony are all in their class to become road pursuit. And so Winnie is super grateful that they've got so many kids with agents. So that's also shout out to Joseph for like making that happen.
Yeah. I love it. Let's go ahead. Any others?
Thanks, Pat. Yeah.
Thanks, Sloan. Oh, go ahead.
So I just applied for my North Carolina provisional license. So, you know, I can actually service my sphere in Charlotte as well. So
I love it.
Super grateful for the ability to do that. I didn't think that was a possibility. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. Man. Any others before we move on? That's good. Nice. Well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for some of that we're getting ready to talk about. Ben, it's been over the last couple of months, we've been going through the assistant team leader hiring process, career visioning. Probably had like, goodness, I think I went through like 30 some CVs and a lot of candidates, and it's been really fun to get to know Ben over, and I'm excited for all of you to get to know Ben over the next couple of months and years, hopefully, however long, I don't know how long, but it's been awesome to have somebody that's similar to me but different than me, for us to dive into each other and just figure out stuff to support all of you better. So it's been fun. So welcome. So with that said, I want to bring up a couple of things. So opportunity, that word is like constantly used. It's kind of an annoying word, honestly. Yet it's a pretty beautiful word when you think about it. Like, what is opportunity? And I think of it in terms of production, or personality, production, and profit. We'll get into that. Yet one of the coolest things about this company, and I saw it over the last week or two, and then those that were at Mega Camp also probably saw it, is when you're in some of these rooms, you're looking around and people have so many hats on. They might be a team leader and they also have a mega team and they're a MAPS coach, or they are an operating principal, a BIC, and a KW master faculty member, or they were an MCA and they're a market center investor. And there's just so many different hats that people can wear. And that's something that really separates KW and this infrastructure from the masses, right? And we don't talk about it enough, I don't think, in what can we do beyond just selling real estate and slinging houses. And when we look at this map and we open our eyes and we realize that, hey, I can go and be on the Agent Leadership Council, or I can and dive into the Market Center. I can be on the Market Center leadership team and serve in a different capacity than just selling houses, or I can go and become a Market Center investor. Now, I'm a great story around this map. I mean, I was a Market Center administrator and running all the operations and finance like Tiffany, and then they're not supposed to be team leaders, and like at all. And, yeah, it's talked about constantly, right? Yet I do decent. And Market Center administrators aren't supposed to be Market Center investors. I am, right? And I know others that have been, right? Or I look at Myrtle Beach and Logan Webster. He was an MCA too, right? And now he's a team leader. Or even Tiffany here, right? Tiffany is a MCA angel. What do they call now? Yeah, she supports all the MCAs through the entire company, right? And she started as an assistant MCA in Mount Pleasant and started to climb this. She's teaching classes on the P&L and the balance sheet for market centers through the entire company. She was on a call with South Africa, right? Talking about financials. And that doesn't exist without a massive infrastructure. Has anybody ever heard of Place Inc.? It was Ben Kinney and I forgot his name yesterday, Chris Suarez. And they partnered and they brought their teams together, and they were valued recently, probably a year ago, at $1 billion. $1 billion with a B. It's a real estate team that has technology built into it, valued at $1 billion. Let that sink in. That's a large number. And it's within the infrastructure of Keller Williams, a privately held company. That is mind-boggling to me. Not to mention that then they went and hired the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway to run their team. You hired onto a real estate team the CEO of a publicly traded company? Holy smokums. That is fascinating to me. So, and it doesn't exist without a world big enough. So we want to continue to bring this to the agent base and talk about the different ways that we can get into KW, because when we broaden our horizons within this infrastructure, our minds automatically expand. Like Jay and Winnie with KWYP and the way that they've traveled and met people. Has your business expanded too? Your referral network? Have you gotten smarter and created more ideas that you can go and take to your clients to service them better?
One of the things I've had is part of two different groups that I speak to on a daily basis, and we hold each other accountable for things. And that's really not only changed my business, changed my personal life.
Yeah. And our business, who's ever heard this one? Your business grows to the extent that you do. you're the lid. Honestly, your personal growth is a lid on your life. Call a spade a spade. If you're not growing, you're dying. And this company gives us an awesome path and an awesome infrastructure to expand into and grow. They always talk about like, you need to put the mask on you before the kid on an airplane, right? Because if you're not there, you can't put the thing on, the mask on. We have to pay attention to us first and then grow. So next slide. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, you look good back there.
All those opportunities are there if you want. And then what hit me when we were looking at that, when you gave the examples of you and Tiffany and what you're doing, it's like, if you want, if you ask, and if you show up. And that's, if you look at like Vince and Tiffany in particularly, like they wanted it, they asked to be part of it, and then they showed up. And that's why they're getting those opportunities. And it's just cool to see that play out, which is kind of what you're about to talk about. But just want to say that, add that to it.
I think that's great. And the other piece to it, yeah, people ask all the time, like, well, how do you get opportunity? You take it. You take it. And I was in a room with Gary Keller. It was a small room, it was really cool. And he told the story of people coming to him all the time asking for opportunity. And he said, well, great. I'm glad you want opportunity. This is America. Go take it. And he said, if I give you an opportunity, it was never yours to begin with. It was mine. I just gave it to you. You're fully dependent on my ability to create opportunities and give them to you. Just go take them, right? And an easy way to think about taking opportunity is this. Number one, you got to bloom where you're planted. Fill your seat. My dad used to harp into me and my brother all the time. Fill your seat. Fill your seat to the best of your ability. And nobody can ask more of that, but more of you than that. But bloom where you're planted and fill your seat. Second, personality, production, and profit. What does it mean? Personality is just like, do you attract? And honestly, are you authentic? Are you who you say you are? People don't like inauthentic individuals. It automatically breaks trust. Honestly, we've drawn that triangle with empathy, logic, and authenticity. And if one of them is broken, trust is broken, right? And if somebody doesn't feel that about you, trust is broken. Well, that's personality, right? Are you who you say you are? And that's an important piece. One thing that I absolutely love about this place is the authenticity walking down the halls, and just in our KW Charleston family is pretty epic. It's difficult to explain or replicate. Honestly, it's very difficult to replicate. Yet it's a pretty amazing thing. Second, production. Production, like, are you getting a result? Are we all in business? Ultimately, business is about helping people and making money, right? I say helping people first because there's a great book called The Go-Giver. Money simply is a byproduct of the value you give this world. So helping people, making money. And when production's there, then you just move to the last piece, and that's profit. Do you have the money when somebody comes calling for an opportunity? Do you have the money, or can you find the money? Money's easy to find, to go and put up to the table so you can take that opportunity. It's an important piece of the puzzle. Now, if one of these is lacking, like my personality, it might be lacking a little bit, but my production and profit may be there, right? You have to have, if one is lacking a little bit, maybe my production is a little bit above average. Well, but maybe my personality is one of super charismatic and wow and all these things, and my profit is there. So one has to compensate for one that may be lacking as well, something to think about. So when we talk about our local organization, that would be next. Good job. There's a lot of opportunities created based on the vision that our operating principle has created. And what's cool, that this is from page one. Oh, go back. This is from page one. Thank you. Page 158 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. I get asked all the time, when do you hire? Well, number one, you hire when you've earned the hire, because we lead with revenue. Number two, you do this. Can somebody read this? Does anybody know how to read in here?
You get all the results you get, and when you can't go any further, you look for help. This help should come in the form of a talented person.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Page 158. It's a great page. it answers the question as to when I should hire. Now, who's the first person we hire in an organization when we're building? Admin. And why? How come? Do you know?
You need the support.
Yeah.
One allows you to go and do the other profit generating without being bogged down by the day-to-day.
Yeah, we're giving up the 80% of the business, right? So that we can focus more on the dollar producing activities and 20%, as we call it. What's cool is what we've done as an organization is follow the model. Now, on page 37 of the MREA, there's a triangle that says models and then creativity on top. We have added some serious creativity because, well, I want to stress Joseph out. Right? That's what I live for, honestly. So the white in your beard, that's for me. So if we move to the next page, this is the organization that we're growing. And I know there's a lot of boxes and some of them aren't filled. And I can't read it either, even though I helped write it. But what I want you to take from this is it started with support. And if you know, the boxes that are all filled out are in support. And support is important because our clients need to be serviced, and that's all of you, right? So building out the support piece was first and foremost the way that we needed to earn the next hire. We've got segments. We've got, from an opportunity standpoint, Director of Luxury, and Laura Fox is leading that charge to bring more support to the luxury space, right? And more awareness to the infrastructure of luxury and the resources you have access to. Commercial, sports entertainment, new homes, all things that are on the board from an opportunity standpoint. You've got over here all the ancillaries that we're working on. And you took that survey, many of you took that survey. A couple of them that were in there was in-house transaction coordination and marketing services, two things that we are working on, right, currently, so that we have more value and we can help you run your business more efficiently and create a better, unique service proposition for your agent, for your client base, right? And then you've got growth. So yes, I drew this. I learned this I've seen this a bunch of times, but oh boy, I'm a bull in the china shop. You know, that was a joke, huh? Just wasn't very funny. Yeah, it's typical. yeah. Great. Guys are so supportive. So yeah, it really is. So what I love about this diagram that I'm about to draw is I truly believe that if you're not growing, you're dying. Let's just call a spade a spade. And what's goofy about growth is right here we have a comfort zone. And when we start growing, things are pretty uncomfortable. So you have a stage of discomfort to create comfort up here. Here, you've got comfort. And then you have discomfort down here. Most of the time, we're striving to stay in, what are we laughing at?
You said comfort 3 different ways and not all that.
Yeah, because I got in my head because like my accent is brutal. Yeah. Comfort. You get it? So what's really interesting is we constantly strive to stay in this word. And what that does is keeps us in this idea of comfort. However, it pushes us toward decay, right? Growth is needed in businesses because there's a natural level of attrition. And the only way to get it is be uncomfortable, do things that we're not used to doing so that we can get another result, right? The other way to say that is, what's the definition of insanity? And expecting a different result. It's like banging your head against a wall. I hate that. I do it every day. But once we create and push through that level of discomfort, we're going to create a level of comfort. Most of the time, for the people sitting in this room, you're going to have this level and move back toward discomfort again, because you're going to want to push for more growth. And we see all the time people sit right here and eventually become uncomfortable with it. And it's it almost becomes too late to act, right? Because it makes it makes it longer to get to that number that they wanted. We're seeing it now. Like I talk to people about their goals. Where are they? Well, I realize that I'm really behind and I don't have enough time to catch up now. Well, that's a tracking thing. So when we talk about this space right here, growth, it's a massively important piece to the puzzle for our brokerage because of this, right? And we've pushed through a lot of discomfort over the last 6 months, especially with some of the things that we've been building and doing, right? Now we're at a space where we can earn a hire, take on an amazingly talented person like Ben, and push into comfort. And I guarantee you, we're going to break a bunch of stuff and fall back into discomfort to grow more. Does that make sense? So if you're ever interested in other opportunities within KW, come talk to me, because there's a ton, whether it's in our local market, whether it's in KWRI, and we can connect you with the right people. And then I'll push you to make sure that those 3 other things, personality, profit, and production, are there. So Ben, why don't you come up and let's introduce you. Give him a hand. Yeah. Well, you can just stand. You stand. You're tall.
Let's say Mike.
Yeah, there we go. So this is Ben. So say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So Ben came from Ohio. First and foremost, he's a husband and a father, and moved down from Ohio. He's got a big team up in Ohio, 75 units and 20 some million in production, and he's completely out of production. I think we have a lot to learn from that. He built it in how many years?
I 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
You don't have to be terrible.
3 years. 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, it's
3 years.
It's pretty awesome in 3 years. And he's moved here with the intention of kind of taking the next step and helping others grow to their fullest potential if they want, right? So why don't you tell us, like, who's Ben?
He said, my wife Taylor, and then we've got 2 kids, Crosby and Logan. They're kind of my entire world. And getting here, I get to do things that give me more energy when I go home to them, being a better father and husband.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and then tell us about your business up there and what attracted you to moving down here.
So my business up there, it's heavy ISA based business. We cold call. We have a lot to learn from working on our database. The agents on the team do really good with the database. I say that I loved the cold calling. I hated talking to the clients. I was really bad at servicing I wasn't bad at servicing the clients, but I would tell them in the listing appointment, you're not going to invite me over for dinner, but I'll sell your house. So we were very clear on what that was. And there was a big lapse in that hugs and kisses because it was very surface level conversations and we could never really dive deep into that, which is super exciting that I get to do that day to day with you guys. I can only point out a kitchen so many times and be like, it's great. And it's not. So yeah. Yeah. So we brought Kylene, Michaela, and Malia on, and they're rock stars. They make our clients feel loved. Even past clients, like, wow, they're way better than you. And I'm like, they are. And so that's our team.
I love it. So what can they expect from you over the next 30 days?
It just, a lot of you have heard from me, but if you haven't, I'm going to call you. I just want to sit down, get to know you guys and your businesses and see how I can help you in any way possible.
And he's, I mean, and some of you have met with him, right? You met with him, and
Changed my life yesterday, so y'all are on.
There you go. Watch out. Lexi's coming through.
I set the bar really high for you.
Don't screw it up.
Yeah, don't screw it up.
Please. I'm really excited. I mean, Ben's got a heart of gold. He wants to help, and we've spent hours and hours together going through the career vision process. We complement each other really well, and we think very similarly, but we approach things very differently. And I think that's going to be a massive, and same with the leadership. And that's going to be a really cool experience for the leadership team, honestly, first and foremost. And then second, because of that, for everybody in the organization that is getting kind of supported and served by us. And like I said, he's excited about diving in. So pick up the phone. What have you learned about calling people?
Here, we have a bit like there. You have a massive opportunity just to answer your phones. I mean, it's incredible. It's a number out of state. We don't.
wants to talk to people from Ohio.
People move from Ohio. It's a referral.
We have an opportunity to pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
He called me the other day. He's like, hey, I called 20 people and 3 answered. Like, he's like, there's an opportunity to pick up the phone. I was like, well.
Internally. Not externally. That's internal.
Yeah.
Answer your phone.
So, but
I'm worried. I got a long list, 400 people. So if we want to expedite this, or just come to me and say, hey, when can we block out our time? Because I'm working through the list.
Yeah.
So if you
keep an eye out for him. Yeah, you probably. So
I left voicemails.
Yeah. So we're super excited to have Ben. He's a huge asset and just a great person to dive into. So reach out, anything you need, we're all here for you. Give him a call. Yeah, man. Give him a hand. All right, a couple of weeks ago, I made a comment about the 4 disciplines of execution, and we're getting into goal setting time. It's the end of the year, and I made a comment about scoreboard in relation to our production boards, and we'll get to that. But I want to quickly gloss over from a macro view, 30,000-foot view, how successful people think about action and execution and goal attainment. And it starts with a wildly important goal. So the book calls it a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, right? That can be anything. That can be units in your business. That could be the boat that you want to buy. That could be, it doesn't matter what it is. Don't compare it to anybody else. Stop doing that. We don't have to compare it to anybody else. It's yours and yours solely. From there, we act on the lead measures. We've talked about it before, but lead measures as compared to lag measures. What's a lead measure in real estate? Tracking your numbers, that's important. We're going to talk about that. What are you tracking? Contacts, that's a lead measure. The more people I talk to, the 100%. That's a pretty simple explanation, Bill. Thanks. That is, what's another lead measure? Appointments, right? Which contacts lead to. Another lead measure could be listings taken, but there's a lead measure to create that measure, right? So we have to we have to act on the lead measures, the things that truly are going to get the result that we want. If I focus on profit today, is that going to change anything in my business today? No, it's a lag measure. Profit isn't going to get changed today by anything that I'm doing right now to change it today. But I can change the amount of people that I talk to today by calling people, right? Or going to the supermarket and talking to people, or it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't have to be calling. Then we're going to keep a compelling scoreboard. That's tracking our numbers. I'm competitive as all hell. We already know this. So I'm a big advocate of what friendly competition can do for the psyche and for the motivation. And some people aren't that way, and that's okay. But it still gives us an idea as to where we are and where we want to go. That's scoreboards. And then accountability. And we miss this one all the time because, well, nobody likes accountability, because if they didn't do what they said they were going to do, they don't like being wrong, because we're humans. Accountability is really the icing on the cake, and that's what takes everybody to the next level. The most successful people in the world set goals and have somebody else hold them accountable to those goals, to the actions of attaining those goals. It's a really important piece to the puzzle. And like E to P, we talk about focus and accountability. Huge, huge, huge. So specific to real estate, when we look at the 5, you can go to the next slide, please. When we look at the 5 things that the most successful individuals do in real estate, number 1, naturally, they set a goal. It's very difficult to go somewhere if you don't know where you're going. And I would encourage everybody to, when they set that goal, tie it to something personal. Tie it to the attainment of something personal. That makes every difference. Then determine your lead generation strategies and the number of people needed in your database. Just these first 2, do they sound familiar from that book that we always reference, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book? Say yes. Yes. Thank you, Lexi. Set your goals is the economic model, right? And we're going to know the activities that we have to take so that we can hit the profit that we want to attain at the end of the year to get that personal stuff. Determine your lead generation strategies. Well, that would be what model? Please say it. Thank you. Thank you. This is great. The lead gen strategy model, right? And then we're going to move and we're going to time block. We're going to time block the things that matter first so that we can do the other things later without slowing us down toward that goal that we set. Then we're going to track our numbers like Bill said. If I was to go from here to California, I said this yesterday, if I was to go from here to California and never paid attention to where I was turning, would I ever make it to California? Probably not. I'd probably end up somewhere better. Yeah, me, no shot. I'd probably just go and do a circle. Yeah, probably do a circle. However, if I tracked every hour my progress on the way to California, would I get there? Yes. Would I get there efficiently? Probably not really. I'd probably miss a turn every once in a while. But if I tracked like a GPS every second on my way to California, I'm going to get there most efficiently and effectively. And I'm probably in the least amount of time, right? It's the same with our business. If we look at our goals quarterly, do we still have a chance at hitting our goal at the end of the year? Yeah. Do we have a higher or lower chance of hitting our goal at the end of the year if we're able to if we track weekly or daily our lead measures in the pursuit of those goals and make changes based on our progress? We have a better chance at hitting them if the shorter amount of time between tracking. Does that make sense? So if I know that last week I only made 20 contacts and my intention was to make 100, well, then now I have time to act. But if I didn't know that for a quarter or 2 quarters or 3 quarters, and now I'm sitting behind my goal and we're 3/4 of the way through the year, and now I know that I wasn't making enough contacts or having enough units to close, am I going to be able to adapt fast enough? Maybe not. We need to track in a short amount of time, and then accountability. And if you're looking for an accountability partner, call me or Ben or call somebody on the leadership team or call Delisha, right? Specifically call Ben, right? Or Delisha, and share your goals and say, now the hardest part is going to be this accountability. So it's a big piece to the puzzle and I can't harp on it enough. So what's next? With that said, now let's go into our scoreboards. And I want to make a quick point about scoreboards. So last month, our scoreboards were relatively wrong, and I'll take full responsibility for that. And we failed forward. We found new systems to implement so that we make sure that the numbers are most accurate. Something to take into consideration is that the way that we come up with the scoreboards and the production numbers are based on the first day of the month and the last day of the month and anything that closes through KW during that time. So if I hand in a check on the 4th of the month and it was dated for the month prior, it's not going to be included in the scoreboard for that prior month. Does that make sense? So it's anything that's closed and processed during the current month. So yeah, that's
Also very.
all those things are valid. So do those things. Yeah. I was more worried about the scoreboard being accurate than the law. Yeah, I don't care about the law. Yeah, it's about the. So first, a heartfelt apology for the scoreboards being wrong. That's on me. That's on the leadership team. They're more accurate now. We have new systems in place so that we make sure that we're representing the correct numbers and recognizing the hard work that all of you are doing on a daily and monthly and weekly basis. So keep crushing it. Chucktown leading the way, Synergy, Rose Gold. Let's give a huge hand to all the individuals that took a lot of listings. Let's give them. If you take listings, what happens? So the more listings you take, it's funny how that works. Listings sold. Whoa. That didn't work because they have a higher conversion. So, hopefully. So let's give them a hand. Synergy taking Chucktown and listings sold. That's pretty unbelievable. So let's give them a hand. That's nuts. Is that right? So closed units, Chucktown, above Synergy. Let's give all of these individuals a hand. Lexi, I see you on there. Way to go. Crushing it. Let's give them a hand. And individuals year to date, like I said, January 1 to the last day of the month, as long as it was turned in, January. Did I say January? Well, August, whatever month this is, August. Wendy leading the way in August individual production with 2.1 million. Lexi right behind her by like, what is that, 10,000? Not much. Yeah, 20,000 or something like that. A couple $100. This is awesome. So huge congratulations to all these individuals on the left side. So give my hand. And year to date, Mandy with 11.4 million. That's unbelievable. Absolutely crushing it. Gamewell, Tony, Ricardo, all of these individuals on the right, really crushing it. Let's give them a hand as well. Team production, month to date, Chucktown leading the way, 15.5 million. That's pretty good. And Synergy and Charleston Diggs. Let's give all of the individuals on the left a big hand. And year to date, so through August, through the end of August, can't believe it's September. Through the end of August, Chucktown, Synergy, Charleston Diggs, just absolutely crushing it. And all the teams on here are crushing it. So let's give them a hand too. It's so funny. Every time I see these scoreboards and I think back to 3 years ago, or I think back to a few years back, and like the difference in production is just, it is all like, I don't even have the word to describe it. It's unbelievable. It leaps and bounds different. I mean, celebrate 10 million to 15 million in a month is something we didn't see sometimes for our top 10 or our top 10 in a year. It's pretty unbelievable. So a huge congratulations to all these individuals. What do we got next? Is this Greater Charleston? So we're doing this fun thing, Greater Charleston, Lexi, number 2 in all of Greater Charleston for the month of date. That's pretty good. Well, so I like that mindset. You should, you're preaching to the choir. I still recognize you though. Yeah, it's like you're on the shorter podium. It's fine. Yeah, but man, but I am reading this book though. Reading this great book all about appreciating accomplishments. So that's a good way to go. So yeah, you're doing awesome. So a huge congratulations to all the individuals on the left. That's pretty epic. And year to date, our Greater Charleston individual agents, pretty unbelievable. Mandy on there from Gamewell, Tony, Ricardo, and Lissandra. Let's give them a hand from West Ashley. That's awesome. And then teams, Chucktown leading the way in both categories here. And a huge congratulations to all of these individuals to be on the top 10 of, I said this yesterday, I think we do 1.6 or 7 billion in sales over the last 12 months. As a KW Charleston organization, it's pretty unbelievable. That's a large number, by the way. It puts us as number 2 in all of Charleston from a company standpoint behind Carolina One in volume and unit count, which is pretty, yeah, which is pretty unbelievable when you think of the amount of people that you're all helping. So a huge congratulations to all of these individuals, KW Greater Charleston. What we got next? So there's, I said that how many market centers? 45 market centers in the Carolinas region. There's almost 10,000 agents. And a couple of our teams are on the month to date Carolinas region for August top production list. So let's give all of them a huge hand. That's pretty epic. Profit share, 48% of the profits that are generated at the company at the local level are shared back to the agents that help generate that profit. This is epic. Bill leading the way. Way to go, man. I see you back there. Let's give everybody a hand. Dustin, Kathleen, Winnie, Jeremy. It's epic. 10 grand. You want to take me to lunch? Yeah. That's year to date through August. Yeah, that's year to date through August. So pretty unbelievable. So when you think about it, it's a pretty good amount of money. Bill, $10,500. He think of it this way. He pays a cap of $4,000 to run his business right now. Or he takes a really amazing vacation, right? Do you want to share how, Bill, I'm putting you on the spot. How do you spend your profit share money? Where does it go? Awesome. put it in an investment account or anything like that? Yeah, that's awesome. For what? I love it. Surfing? A new surfboard? Be a nice surfboard. So I know that in my downline, in my first level, there are 7. In the rest of my downline, there are 102. In Winnie's, I believe she has 15 or 16 people in her first level. And that Winnie's has grown from like a couple $100 to a pretty sizable amount of money, $5,000, over the last 12 to 16 months of just focusing on it. Go ahead. Yeah, that's a great point, Bill. Thank you. It's yeah. Oh, wow. No. Wow. We just went over the production. You guys are third. You guys are last, actually. Man, we have just been graced with the presence of Chucktown. Holy smokes. Goodness gracious. Hey, why don't you be a little bit more distracting? Yeah, I was just amazed. Awesome. So yeah, that'd be a mess. So profit share, I mean, it's a gift, that's for sure. And it's not necessarily, everybody asks, well, how do I focus on my profit share tree? It's about looking to the market and finding people that you really like to do business with and identifying like, hey, maybe the shift training would be really good for you to come and join us. It's not about like, hey, you should join KW. It's, hey, let's create a relationship and see if us both can get better. And if they end up joining the company and they're in your downline, great. If not, they got better because of a class or a conversation that you had with them, that you shared with them. And having a real estate agent on the other side of the transaction that has gotten better is a really good thing for you. So regardless of whether they join the company or not. So if you ever need help with that, come to the growth team, come to me or Ben. We're happy to have a conversation. Next, cappers. All these people cap. That's good. John, Joe, Winnie, Ayana, and Ryan. Let's give them a hand. Awesome. And first closings with us, Kim, Michael, and Chuck. So let's give them a hand. That's epic. For some reason, I can never see the names on that slide. Go ahead. You want to talk, and you got 3 minutes. You got a minute and a half.
Yeah. I'll say really quick. We've got an upcoming chapter meeting on the 18th. It is here in West Ashley, probably over at Frothy Beer, but we'll let you know for sure. I definitely want to highlight the KWYP Savannah event, October 21st through the 23rd. If you guys would like to come to that, it is open to not just KWYP members. So it's open to anybody that wants to come. There's a room block at the West End. Wonderful weekend in Savannah. They've got an amazing speaker. He is a comedian and improv artist, and he's actually going to teach us how to use improv in our scripts and dialogues and how to really build that into our business. So we're really excited about that. Next one. I'm also very excited to announce some new leadership roles within our chapter. So myself, Vince, and Jackie are remaining in our roles, but we've added Katie Moots, who is, where is she? I thought she was here earlier. She's our new director of operations. Taylor Lomprez is our new education chair. She is from our Hilton Head Market Center. Dakota Reese is our new membership chair. Madison Chaparro is our new mentorship chair. She's with the Scott Baskin team. And then also Devin Hale is our new social chair. So we do have 2 open roles. So if anybody's interested in a leadership opportunity, we talked about that opportunity world. This is one of those, another opportunity for you to get involved. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. So the happy birthday to all these people. Delisha's birthday is today, so make sure if you see her, shoot her a text, give her a call, knock on her door. I don't know if she's in there. But happy birthday to her. And Joseph's birthday is coming up. Woo woo. Getting young. So I am Matt, Lee, Clary, Natalie. Welcome to the family. Happy to have you. Yo, did you say gift cards? That's kind of funny. And yeah, we're almost done.
So you've probably gotten a bunch of emails from me about a survey. If you haven't, just check your email right now. I just resent it. So take that survey because we are looking for awesome things that you want to add to your business. I want to make sure it's clear. It's not to necessarily spend money because once again, we're a profit sharing company. These are things that we can help build and become partners with and find partners for you to help grow your business. And one of those things that was actually in the top 3 was health insurance. And so my next slide is going to be how one of the ways you can already participate in health insurance benefits through KW. So Keller Williams International has partnered with a company. So there's a group rate that is allowed for 1099 agents, and as well as teams can get this for their teams as well. So if you have salary employees on your team, you can also get quotes for this as well. So it's Real Agent Perks. All the information is going to be in the recap email, so you can check it out. However, we are going to look at a local partner too, just to see what we can do to provide. I know health insurance is a thing that's sometimes a little tension. And so we're looking at ways we can partner with KW International and what they're doing, as well as bring a local Charleston partner for those things. So that's one of the ways that we already wanted to get in front of you to show you what is being implemented. And Vince has talked about several other things. So definitely fill out that survey. We'd love to hear from you. There's some close tie races right now, so we'll see what we implement first.
Yeah, and that's a way to speak, right? We'll go to the ALC, talk about what we have to add to your business, and the infrastructure is large enough that we either already have it in KWRI or at KWRI, or we can build it quickly, right? We want to continue to serve and help from a productivity standpoint, your businesses. And we're open to building a lot of things.
Yeah, there were people in there that wrote things in there like they wanted a lead situation or they wanted group lead generation. Well, we already have that built out in the CDB program. They just didn't know because they had been here a while. And so we were able to already make connections on some things. So even if you have ideas, please let us know so we can make your dreams come true.
Love it. What's next?
Joseph.
Speaking of downtown homes.
Here are the broker.
Just kidding. This isn't Columbia. All right, so they know what I'm talking about. All right, so pop quiz. You have a buyer under contract on a property. You're still in due diligence. That property's your buyer is contingent on their property selling. Their property does not sell. It is prior to due diligence terminating. They send a termination, but not a termination fee. Are they terminated from the contract? Yes. Why? Due diligence does not cover the outside contingencies like home sale, CO 100, appraisal, and financing. So keep that in mind. So we're seeing a lot of that right now. Doesn't matter on the timing. That's a big confusion for a lot of people. Second thing that we're seeing a lot, you send a termination, due diligence expires, let's say tomorrow at 6 p.m. I send a termination and a release of earnest money, splitting the earnest money instead of a termination fee. Seller signs it. Do you have a terminated contract? Yes, you do. These pop quizzes are good, right? If you can split the earnest money, when the seller signs that release and the buyer has signed it, the contract's done. They have released them. They have said, you can't in order to terminate, but if the seller agrees to do it that way, they have terminated the contract by signing off on it. So now if you send it and the seller does not sign the earnest money release, releasing the termination fee to the seller, then no, it's not terminated if they don't sign it by 6 p.m. tomorrow. So you would have to send the actual termination fee at that point. I know, right? We'll do it again. All right, that's all I got.
Go to contracts, whatever. Class.
Right. All right. Thank you.
Don't go to jail. And the answer is always yes.
All right, what's coming up? We're going to fly through this so that we're a little over already. We have Ignite going on, as we mentioned. It runs through October 14th, so pop in. We just first week of class. Setting up your business for financial success. They're going to go through how to structure LLCs, run a profit and loss, and set up QuickBooks. This will be a good one, so mark your calendars. It's next Wednesday here in person. Yep. Awesome. Yep. So he works with Keller Williams agents for the past 9 years. Yep. Awesome.
Like I said, go to that.
Go to the class. We also have shift on Thursday of next week. If you have not signed up, please sign up. We have breakfast and lunch. That'll be here in person. Sign up for that. We'll also have, I know these are really fast. We'll have all of these links in the recap. We also have the Profit Share Summit that will be October 6th. This will be in person in each office. So take advantage of that. It's Linda McKissick. Yep. It's more about wealth building. Gary Keller will be on this as well. Yep. October 2022. That's just our CES calendar. This is also on our calendar, so be on the lookout for that. Mega Agent Summit happening October 9th through 11th in Asheville. Right now it's up to
It's 349. There's
349. Yeah, we have 11 total from Charleston going. So get signed up for this. Vince, do you want to add any on this?
There's the KWRI, like chief economist for KWRI. He's a really smart guy. There's a lot going on in the world, right? From a financial standpoint in the economy. So he's amazing. Don Yeager. I mean, Christy Belt Grossman is all about ops. Press McKissick, son of Linda and Jimmy McKissick, big on wealth building. So this will be a really cool event. Not to mention, and Jan Snook talked about this. She talked about like mega camp can sometimes be overwhelming because there's so many people there. This is just the Southeast region and the Carolinas region, and some of the big hitters in those regions are presenting. And it's amazing to be able to network with, instead of 8,000, 300 people, and really kind of create awesome one-on-one relationships. It's going to be a good event. I'll be up there. It sounds like 11 of our agents are going for KW Charleston. So get this ticket. It'll be a good event. Yeah. The ticket will be free when you attend. So yeah, what was it? You're speaking? Don't go, actually. Never mind. So that's awesome, right? So the keynote. So that'll be really cool. You get to go up. What are you guys talking on? Did you? Yeah, and still thrive. A simple thank you. So you're definitely not going to want to go to that expansion. So, and I mean, in all seriousness, these guys have expanded better than most in the company. When you look at the rate at which they've expanded, and not just from a people standpoint and a location standpoint, like some expansion teams have done, not only did they create five locations, each one of those locations is massively productive and profitable, and the individuals are making money in those locations and they're supporting them. They're making money back at the hub. So if that's just to expand your horizons, maybe you're not at that point yet, but hearing about the way that they're doing it, be it turning on lead levers that are duplicatable in other areas, is a really cool thing to learn. So you can learn a lot from them. And it's pretty cool because I know just from the relationships that I've created with these guys, they'll pick up their phone and tell you if you're ever in Charleston and take them a lunch. So hope I just filled up the calendar. Sorry. Yeah, they like lunch. So anything else here?
All right. 2023 business planning clinic is going to be at the Cooper River Room, 10/27, October 27th. Mark your calendars for this. Joseph's going to be leading it. From there, customer experience, November 10th. That'll also be here in the office. We talked about that earlier, and I was going to plug that in to what you were saying with Sloan, but customer experience, big. So November 10th. The holiday party as well is going to be December 1st, 6 to 9, and that's going to be at the Porter Room at Holy City Brewing. So mark your calendars for that. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to have a good time and have some good beer from Holy City. So
the business planning clinic, make sure you attend, right? It's in October. we have the amazing opportunity. We kind of joke on Joseph. He's a KW approved master faculty member. And we were sitting in a course last week, or actually yesterday, Monday or Tuesday, whenever, 2 days ago. And the instructor gave information about a P&L, and Joseph turns to me and goes, well, that's wrong. They just told a room of 300 and some 200 people about a particular strategy that was wrong. He knows his stuff when it comes to the financials and to the business planning aspect of this business. And it's really cool to have him in our area and really in our location, in our world, to be able to get this free and to set ourselves up for success in 2023. So definitely attend the business planning clinic. And I'll never say anything nice about Joseph again. So write down the time and date. Yeah, exactly. All right. So we truly appreciate being in business with each and every one of you. You guys are absolutely awesome. I'm absolutely humbled to get to know everybody and to have the relationships that I do. Keep on crushing it. Good to see everybody. Later.